So as you use the term synergistic cockpit, just tell us more about it, because
synergistic cockpit is where there will be discussion of certain situation. If it is not time critical, then there will be discussion before you make a decision. Thereafter, if in case there is a trainee pilot, then there will be training given to him.
Correct.
It is not order, or it is not something talking in a very rude manner, or in a very it's in a polite manner, delivering the knowledge and then implementing it. So that is about synergistic. Synergistic is the ideal cockpit in normal situations.
having synergy between the two crew
members. So that is a synergistic cockpit.
Correct.
And then so when we discussed about,
and what's the opposite of synergistic cockpit?
Synergistic is ideal.
Then
Authoritative or autocratic is extreme. So in Middle Eastern as well as Far Eastern countries, like India falls in that, but still now with more implementation of CRM into airline standards, this thing is changing quite a lot. And but still Far Eastern countries, like if you say Vietnam, then Thailand, then these countries, they still implement is not the correct word, but there is still authoritative cockpit. So even if some captains who go from India to those countries, Far Eastern countries. So I recently met one captain who was there in Bangalore, and I knew him. So recently on a layover, we were just having breakfast together. So he was sharing some stories of airline in Vietnam. So he was like, there I give every sector to first officer. When I was here in India, that time I used to give whichever sector possible, like obviously not at places where a first officer is not supposed to land according to the rules. So there they are very reluctant. First officers are very reluctant, and they don't accept any sector. They don't want to take flying as a pilot flying, because they are not used to doing that as much by other captains. So this steep gradient is there in mainly Asian, Middle Eastern and Far Eastern countries. Whereas in Western Europe and in USA and America, there things are pretty different, where it is much casual with the standards in the cockpit. But
even
when
during
it comes
training,
to,
I would say it is like that in the US with comparison to Indian flight training, for sure.
Yes. So there is a point where there